Yes.
Indeed.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar.
The alienage is closed. Be on your way.
All lined up soon.
How should I know? I'm no high and mighty lord sitting in the landsmeet, am I?
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar. You won't find better.
I'm glad you decided to help. With the Nor's knowledge, we have a far better chance against Loghain. From Erlena's story, he turned against her first. If he truly intends to sacrifice her, I think it will be strong motivation to break the parental bonds. In any event, I would far rather have the opportunity to ask such things of her than simply hear about her murder. If Honora speaks out against Loghain, hers would indeed be one of the most powerful voices at the Landsmeet. No more easily than without you there. There will be none to see it, save those who are already loyal to Loghain. And given your reputation, Warden, I think Loghain knows it's safer to carry out his plots far from where you can disrupt them. She and Kaelin were promised as children and practically raised together. She was a smart child, knew how to listen, and how to blink those big blue eyes and get anything she wanted. Her mother's looks, her father's brains, and the best tutoring Merrick's money could buy. It's a potent combination. She's obviously more than a maidservant. But I imagine it's useful for Honora to have a trusted attendant who can move more freely than she herself. And consider what aid she and the Queen might be to us. If Honora has truly turned against her father, she becomes the one thing we lack. Someone with a true understanding of Loghain's plans and allies. With her guidance, we can form a far more successful strategy against him. As you like. My palace is your palace.
Yes. Yes.
Indeed.
And so I shall.
The servants' entrance is on the other side of the house. We must slip past this crowd to reach it. We will have to be very careful. Al-How is inside. Yes, and wherever he goes, a great many guards go with him. I beg you, Do not put my lady in danger for your revenge. We must get her out first. The estate is in poor repair. The new owl, he has not been very prompt in paying his workmen. I will be right behind you.
Oh, Carter's Craft Hall has had enough of Hal's conveniently busy schedule. We will not be put off again.
Nor will the stonemasons. It's been a month since we've seen so much as a coin of ours crumble.
His lordship is much engaged with the region. He will hear your complaints as soon as he has the time.
You're wasting your breath.
And when will that be? At the dawn of the next age? Our people have families to feed. They can't wait forever on the Terran's whim.
No,
No entry by
no,
order of
you
the
can't
town.
see Terran now. Life is terribly unfair, travesty of justice, blah, blah.
No
Just
entry
read.
by order of the town.
I shall do it.
Someone is coming. I can distract the guards, but you must move quickly. More guards patrol every hour. If they find these two missing, they will know... how you say... something is amiss. Hurry! My lady does not have much time. Are you all prepared? I will go distract the guards. These two know who is allowed to come and go. They will not be fooled. But the uniform should work on most of those inside. I will lure them into the courtyard. Wait in the bushes.
We're under attack!
Another battle!
So much for subtlety. We must hurry. There will be little time before the patrol finds what you have done. You must be careful now. The servants, they will not look closely at anyone in uniform. All guards are alike to a cook, no? But you should not draw attention to yourself. Most of the guards are new. They will not know you for a stranger at a glance. It is best to keep your distance from all of them and try to blend in. She is in the guest room, off the main hall. Andraste, guide us.
How did the old armed servants ever cook anything in here? No one ever said the Kendalls had any sense.
For Andraste's sake, don't speak ill of the dead. This roast is going to be charred on one side. There's no help for it. We'll just trim it and feed the scraps to the dogs. So you didn't fetch me the celery root from the left? Yes, ma'am.
I heard him talking to the Chamberlain.
Hush, son. Don't spread tales. What did he say?
So you've time for idle gossip, have you? Why didn't anyone tell me the Empress of Orlais was working in my kitchen?
Sorry, ma'am. Tell me after dinner.
The whole family got killed. I say how ought to level the thing and build a new one.
The captain wants you. I heard him talking to the Chamberlain.
Hush, son. Don't spread tales. What did he say?
Why didn't anyone tell me the Empress?
Mutton. How's too cheap to buy it? Cook's probably roasting the elves that broke in here.
You realise that doesn't help, right? Oh.
Command me.
I shall.
Bluffing.
Then call it one, don't you? Are you playing cards or chit-chatting? I hate it when he does that.
Not in the tongue of all the nations of the world may the Maker's mercy be expressed. Before the light, word. Before the light, all the mysteries of the ages become as leaves scattering in the wind. I may win great battles before men. I may do great works of charity and compassion. I may give myself over to the flames. But without the Maker, I have nothing.
Delighted. Of course.
My foot's asleep again.
The Grey Warden is here, my lady.
Thank the Maker. I would greet you properly, but I'm afraid we've had a setback. My host was not content with leaving me under heavy guard. He sealed the door by magic. Find the mage who cast the spell. He'll most likely be at Howe's side. Well, if he didn't know you were here, he soon will. Thank you, Warden. My prayers go with you.
Count Howe will probably be in his rooms. They're at the end of the hall, on the left. Left.
I can't believe I drew this shift again.
And so I shall.
Housekeeper will hear us.
Everyone's at dinner, don't worry.
In that case, come here.
Someone's here.
Look, you didn't say nothing. Wait, who are you? You're not on my watch! Call the watch! We've got an intruder!
Your time to shine!
That's a lot of blood.
Begin the
I think we work well together.
Hey, you don't...
Of course. So be it.
Of course.
I shall do it.
We're going through this.
Right.
Begin the onslaught. What a brave woman! But please do not fight the poison smell.
All right. And so I shall.
Thieves! Brigands in the house! God, help us!
Tell how he's probably in his rooms. The last door on your left.
And so I shall. All right.
What? Who goes there?
I thank you for creating such distraction, stranger. I have been waiting days for the opportunity. Do you think you could... Alistair? Is that you?
Who? Wait. I do know you. You were at my joining. He's one of us. A warden from Orlais. Jada, I think. Or was it Montsemar? I'm afraid I don't remember your name.
I'm Riordan, senior warden of Jada, but born and bred in Highever, and glad to be home. Yes, these are my records. The names of the dead I could recognize at Ostagar. What I could find of Duncan's own recruitment records. Copies of the joining ritual I rescued from our Denerim vault. Those should never be seen by any outside eyes, but I trust in their encryption. Would that I could, for Ferelden sorely needs them. But for the joining to work, the recruit needs not only fresh Darkspawn blood, but a drop of blood preserved from an archdemon. Ferelden's supply should have been in the vault, but it was gone. I can only imagine someone took it out and Loghain either confiscated or destroyed it. As you know, the joining's chance of success is slim anyway. Loghain has done far worse to the Wardens than cut us off from recruiting. And from the rumors flying through Denerim, removing him from the throne is already your plan, no? I saw him going to the dungeons. He may still be there. For the most part, attempting to hold my tongue. I was sent when we received no word from King Caelan as to the outcome at Ostagar. The king had invited all the wardens of Orlais and their support troops to join him. Then nothing. We had 200 wardens and 24 divisions of cavalry. The first we heard of Loghain's edict was when everyone was turned back at the border. That was when the rumor reached us that wardens were being blamed for the massacre. We finally decided it was safest to send someone alone to learn how best to fight the Blight and this regime simultaneously. As a native Ferelden, I volunteered to make the crossing. With an offer of hospitality and a poisoned chalice. I was fool enough to think Loghain didn't yet know who I was. This is hardly the best place to talk.
We've been staying with Al Eamon at his estate. If you need a place to stay, I'm sure he'd make you welcome.
At Al Eamon's, then. And good luck, brother.
And so I shall. Right. Delighted. All right. Delighted.
right? Of course.
That's it! Don't leave me here! Get me out of here! That's an order! Was this supposed to be a lesson? Did my father think it funny to leave me for so long before sending you? You move in august company, stranger. I am Oswin, son of Ban Sigurd, of the Dragon's Peak Bannon. If you aren't one of our soldiers, pray tell me, who should I be thanking for my rescue? Then I have no question about why you would come, Warden. For it is your men who have suffered the most here. You have my heartfelt gratitude. And I assume the gratitude of the entire Dragon's Peak Bannon. If my father sent no one after me, I can only assume that he does not yet know the true colors of the snakes he is allied with. But if you talk to him, I'm certain he would offer you any reward you might ask. Then there is a Landsmeet after all. Hal said the Jarl of Redcliffe was dead, and the Landsmeet called off. I swear, if there be any forum to speak out against Loghain, my father will be there. Now, please, I must try to get to him. I cannot see the last of this place too soon. Of course. Delighted. They said to retreat. The horn sounded, and we turned, and then the screams. We rode, and they screamed, and screamed, and...
Mother? Can you smell the blood? They said it was only Darkspawn. But we ate them too. They died. And we left them. In the swamp. The witch. The witch!
He's obviously mad. I don't think you'll get anything more out of him.
The light. Mother, you brought the light.
As you desire.
What month is it? Are you some enemy of our Illyrians? Please, I feel like I've spent half my life down here. Dead. Then who's ruling? His son, Vaughn. He struck me down and I woke up here. People were so angry, they were thinking of petitioning the king. There have been many changes since they caught me. I need to find out what happened. I need to get home, or flee the city. I thank you for your aid, stranger. I wish I had more than gratitude to offer.
And so I shall. Of course.
Well, well. Bryce Cousland's little boy, all grown up, and still trying to fit into Daddy's armor. I never thought you'd be fool enough to turn up here. But then, I never thought you'd live, either. Isn't that precious? Is this where I lament the monster I helped create? You're still so very new to this. Shall I show you how it's done? I made your mother kiss my feet as she died. It was the last thing your father saw. Meet my sword and try to change that. Make her spit on you. I deserved. More.
And so I shall.
Who's there? Stay away. You can't do this to me. I'll have you all flayed. I'm the Arl of Denerim. I'm Vaughan Kendalls, heir to the Arling of Denerim. It's true. Too many of our troops were lost at Ostagar. When the riots started, Howe came with men to reinforce the garrison here. Or that's what he claimed. As soon as I let him into the palace, he threw me in here. One more victim of the Elven uprising, he said. Let me out of here. I'll do anything. Of course. Anything. Just let me out. I swear you won't regret this.
Maker, have mercy, son. Grant me a place at your side. Grant me the cleansing flames. Andraste, Bride of the Maker, have mercy on me. Alstana, is that you, little sister? No, I don't know you, do I? Are you real? Alstana? I don't know. Where is my sister? Have you seen her? I'm Erminric, Knight Lieutenant of the Denerim Chantry. You aren't one of the Tairn's men?
He sounds like he's in lyrium withdrawal. He's got all the signs, confusion, weepiness. He probably doesn't even know what he's saying. If the Grand Cleric knew he were in here, she'd be spitting hot coals. Nobles don't have authority over Templars.
I failed in my duties, Maker. Forgive me. I failed, and there's no telling what he's done. The Malefica. He had turned blood magic upon Templars and Circle mages to escape from his tower. Near Redcliffe, I cornered him, but the Tairn's men took him from me and brought me here. Yes, he destroyed his phylactery. We were spread out, trying to find him. I was alone. You are real, aren't you? My dreams are so strange now. Please, if you're not a dream, help me. Give this ring to my sister, Alstana. Tell her I'm sorry. Please, ask her to pray for me. Lady of Perpetual Sorrows, pray for me.
delighted.
My thanks. Funny. Very funny. We must go quickly and avoid notice. If Howe's people find me, I'll be killed. And my people will insist on escorting me back to the palace, where my father may also have me killed. Shh! You'll draw attention to us.
Warden, in the name of the Regent, I am placing you under arrest for the murder of Rendon Howe and his men-at-arms. Surrender, and you may be shown mercy. Bring them down! Loghain wants the Warden, dead or alive.
Yeah?
Off I go.
Oh, this should be shame about it. I am your... Go.
Right.
That's a lot of blood.
All right.
Maker's breath. It's good to see you in one piece, my friend.
Sir Calthrian's death is a waste, truly. But I suppose it could not be helped. I was uncertain you would respond as you did, considering the consequences. I am glad you did. Thank you. Now, however, we must work together. And quickly. My father has gone mad. I didn't believe it at first, but he is gripped by a paranoia so severe it prevents him from seeing sense. He saw me as a threat. Yet even now, I'm certain he will be telling the nobles you are dangerous murderers that have kidnapped and mind-controlled me. He may even believe it. I thought so. I'd hoped so. Howe's influence was strong. His death can only be a good thing, but even that will not be enough. I know my father, and he is committed to his course. He will see this through, no matter what. You will need ammunition come the Landsmeet, and I can help you in that regard. You have only just arrived in the city, so perhaps you are unaware of some recent events. Denerim has been in turmoil since Ostagar. Many people here are angry or grieving. Strangely, the unrest is worst in the alienage. Few elves accompanied the army. They should have little reason to be upset, which means that Hao and my father must have given them reason. I don't know what is happening there, but I am certain my father has his hands in it.
A useful lead, Honora, but you could have sent this information with your maid.
That is true. I feared for my safety as Hao's prisoner. But to tell the truth, I sent Elena to you because I hoped we might join forces. You need that evidence for the Landsmeet, but you also need a stronger candidate for the throne. You need me. I have no doubt Alistair is biddable enough, and decent, but even with his blood, he is no king. You think only I can see it? Not only that, Alistair is a Grey Warden. It will look like you are trying to put a Grey Warden on the throne, despite your claims. I am a neutral party, and I am already queen.
Honora, you are indeed Kaelin's widow, but...
I am the daughter of Ferelden's greatest general. Who do you think truly ruled this nation for the last 5 years? Kaelin. I am what this country needs, not an untrained king who does not even want the throne. I can help you stop my father. Consider what I have said. For now, I think I will retire to my room. Warden, when you have a moment, I ask that you speak to me in private.
Well, she's quite spirited. I remember when Loghain first brought her to Denerim. Poor Galen was a good boy, but Honora was always 2 steps ahead. Had him jumping when she snapped since the first time she batted her eyelashes. I cannot help thinking she may be trouble, but we should keep her close, all the same. This is an alliance of convenience. For the moment, we are united against Loghain. Be careful how much trust you place in her. I do not for a moment think Honora means to give up her power easily. Still, I would rather have her where we can watch her than actively working for Loghain. Honora was a capable administrator for Kaelin's lands, but she has not a drop of royal blood. We did not fight the Orlesians all those years just to lose our royal line in a single generation. Not when there's a surviving son of the blood.
No, I don't, which I've told both of you on many occasions. If Honora's turned against Loghain, I say let her keep the crown. It looks better on her anyway.
You're both wrong. With a few months of experience, Alistair will make a fine king. He knows how to lead troops to defend his land. He knows how to stand and fight for justice. He knows how to show compassion to those less fortunate, and how to trust to the Maker's guidance to know right from wrong. And he knows who to turn to for aid, should that training fail him. He will be fine. Ferelden was first united by Calenhad, the Silver Knight. For 400 years, his descendants have ruled Ferelden. That was the heritage we preserved from the Orlesians. And it is the heritage I will fight for as long as one of Calenhad's descendants still lives. Without that to unite us, we could scatter back to warring Turniers.
Are you serious? No, never mind. I don't even want to hear the rest of this. You two just keep talking about me. I'm gonna stand over here with my fingers in my ears.
That would certainly solve a lot of problems, and put forth the strongest argument before the Landsmeet to remove Loghain from power. With Therin blood on the throne, and Honora's wisdom and popularity, Ferelden could present the most united front against the Blight. Unfortunately, the marriage would never happen, unless they both agreed to it. And I suspect that might take a lot of persuading to get past her pride and his humility. We certainly have a great deal to plan. Maker knows what that man is capable of now. Of course, if I might make a suggestion, go speak with Honora. She will either be a powerful ally or a powerful enemy, and the sooner we know which she is, the better.
Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. First, let me say that I knew your family. Eleanor, in particular, was dear to me, and what Hal did was unforgivable. How fitting he died at your hands. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne. Do you disagree? You are a fellow Grey Warden. What do you think of Alistair's potential to rule? Never mind his willingness. Alistair seems like a kind, well-meaning man, and biddable enough. These are admirable qualities, if not kingly ones. He also seems to be a fine Grey Warden, which is exactly why he should remain one and serve the kingdom by defeating the Darkspawn. I have ruled this nation on Caelan's behalf for many years. I am a great queen, and as beloved by my people as I love them. Ferelden needs an effective ruler with experience to see it through the Blight and after. That is not Alistair. Thus, I say again, I would welcome your support for the throne if you would give it. No? You're a Grey Warden, and despite the fact that my father will paint himself as the only one who can protect the country from the Blight, it is not so. Secondly, you saved Arl Eamon from a plot that no doubt had its origins in Hal's sick little mind. People will not forget that. You are competent and powerful, and in the right place at the right time. Used to your advantage, these things could bring you far. That is exactly what I am proposing. When the time comes, you support my bid in the Landsmeet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Ferelden, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot. He is my father, as well as a great general, who has served his nation well until now. If there is a way for him to live, I would prefer it. I am glad to hear it. In the end, it will be up to the Landsmeet to decide, I think. Does that affect your decision? Can we yet come to an arrangement? Once I am queen, I will be in a position to grant you whatever you wish. and I shall. This is in addition to Highever being properly restored to you. That should go without saying, I trust. Alistair might promise you the same, I suppose. But I would ask which is better. The gratitude of a weak king, or of a strong queen. And even if it is not for you, think of what I could do for the Grey Wardens. Think of what I could do for your companions. I trust I have made my point. Tempting. You are of Cousland blood, it's true. Despite the fact that you are also a Grey Warden, it would be unprecedented, but a man like you could make a fine prince and consort. Is this what you are actually proposing? My hand for your support? And I am tired of ruling in a husband's name. If I marry again, it will not be to become a figurehead. If being a consort is not enough, then marry Alistair. Perhaps he will bend over more gracefully than I would. Very well. It is too good an opportunity to pass up. Once I am coronated, I will take your hand as my consort. So, we have a deal, Warden. I trust you'll keep your end of the bargain. Now, I suppose, comes the task of dealing with my father. That will be no small feat, of course, but I am certain you already know this. I imagine you have much to do. Is there anything else you needed from me? No. And while I know your concern is hardly disinterested, still, thank you.
If one more servant asks if I would like a change of clothes, I will set the house on fire. What comes, my friend?
I'm glad you made it safely away. I hear Howe's death has already brought no small amount of cheer to the city. We went through our joining together, more years ago than I like to remember. He was exactly the same back then, tough as stone and just as grizzled. I think he understood sooner than the rest of us how ugly a choice it is to let the few be sacrificed to protect the many. Always left himself a soft spot for his recruits, though. Only where he ever let himself down. When I'm well enough, I'm going to continue my journey toward Ostagar. Hopefully I'll be able to trace the heart of the Blight and where the Archdemon itself abides. If we want to defeat this Archdemon, we need to know where it is and how soon it might strike. If there were more of us, I would agree. But as it is, I don't think we can deprive all the armies you've gathered of a commander. Well, I'd be happy to tell you what I know, but it seems to me that you've picked the important parts up yourself. Be firm in your beliefs, protect people from their own ignorance, and be as loyal as you can to your brothers, even knowing you'll share their deaths. It's tough to say. Only the fortress in Weishaupt has every record. But there are certainly a few dozen or hundreds in every nation in Thedas. The Anderfells are home to over 1,000. It's almost like the Archdemon chose Ferelden deliberately, knowing how unguarded it is. It was near 1,200 years ago, and no one knows for sure. Except that it began with a group of Ander soldiers. Apparently, they defected from their king's army, vowing that fighting the Blight was more important, and traveled all the way to Tevinter themselves. They were the first ones to track down the Archdemon Dumat, and the ones to slay him, although none survived the battle. But they had picked up followers by then, and it was they who formally founded the Order, and were recognized by Thedas. Once only, and I'd rather not go again. It's far, lad. And very foreign. The Wardens there, they fight Darkspawn like you and me. But they're shaped by the winters there in the forest. They're a cold group and don't care like they should about the rest of the world. Their king is weak, and many Enders look to the Wardens to rule. I hate to say this, but some of them seem to want it that way. Archdemons don't awaken on their own, you know. It takes the Darkspawn, tunneling and tunneling, searching for centuries to find one. And with no one to lead them, it must be sheer chance, or maybe instinct, which leads them. What's surprising isn't that it takes so long between blights. What's surprising is that they succeed at all. But I imagine the old gods call to them. And it's that voice in the darkness which drives them through so many generations. The important thing to remember is, none of that matters. When you're facing Darkspawn, all you need to know is to stop them at all costs.
So I'm guessing someone told Honora I was planning to steal her throne. She has a nasty glare. Did anyone mention this wasn't my idea? I think she's a great queen. As far as I'm concerned, she's welcome to it. I'm not a political man. I like being a warden. There's real evil out there, and it's something we can fight. It's something we can defeat. Making laws, settling disputes, that's not me. I wouldn't have the first idea how to do it. What do you think I should do? Go ahead and be king, just to let it happen? You have? I'm relieved, actually. The Landsmeet may not listen to you, and Al Eamon would go right back into a coma if you told him. But me? I'm relieved. I guess all we need to do is stop her father from taking the throne first, right? Oh, how hard could it be? He's just a hero and a Terran with a bigger army. Us, we've got spirit. Yes.
Indeed.
Dwarf, welcome back. Is there something else you'd like to look at? Only the finest crafts, straight from Orzammar. Every piece comes with a stamp of assurance from my wife's father, the best smith in Denerim. Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven craft.
Interesting. Interesting.
Direct from Orzammar. Won't find better. Very well.
Alistair here.
Begone!
And these elves allow themselves to be
Feet.
herded
Someone's
together
coming.
in this filth. Why, exactly?
I was on my way home. Look, I'm leaving and you should do the same. The knife ears are all riled up.
Spare a coin.
It's you. Come in. I didn't thank you before, did I?
I wish I could give you something. Everything I owned was lost to looters after the Purge. Not that I had anything valuable to begin with.
It's a plague, so they say. I've seen a few sick people since I've been back, but I don't know how bad it really is.
There are mages from Deventer here helping to treat it. But there's something odd going on, though. My cousin Shiani could tell you more. You can't miss her. Just look for the angriest woman in the alienage.
I guess so. I'd expect Templars here otherwise. I don't know. You can only find out for certain if it doesn't work. And no one wants to put it to a serious test.
I know you've already done a lot for me, but I have to ask. Could you talk to Shiani? Please. I don't know what's going on here, but I know she's in over her head. Really? I don't know what to say. Thank you. Make her bless you.
spare a silver for a war veteran? Ostagar. Darkspawn took off half my foot. Of course, sir. Of course. Cheap bastard.
Will make you sick. I didn't even know they're working now.
Is someone there? Maker's blessing to you, child. Be not afraid. I still have some sight to see you by. I appreciate your candor. Most stare. Or worse, the awkward silence. I am a Templar. I lost my sight in a battle with a powerful Maleficar. He called flame from the air and burned my face. The scars have healed, but my sight will never recover. Don't be. Many of my brethren died in that battle. We'd heard rumors that there's an enclave of Maleficarum hidden in the alienage. I have found no evidence of Maleficarum in the alienage. However, there is something else. This place, it's scarred like me. When I came here, I immediately could feel an air of hopelessness, despair. But over time, I felt the wrongness runs far deeper than that. I don't know, but the feeling of wrongness never wanes. And so I attempt to puzzle it out. I don't suppose I could impose upon you. It took patience, but some elves opened up to me, and I've heard their sad tales. But I found no real evidence to support my fears. Ears alone have done all they can. I was hoping you could be my eyes. Look around the alienage for anything out of the ordinary. I don't know. I have a feeling that there is something to be found, though. You seem capable. I have hope that you will find what I seek. Maker watch over you, child.
How can you be here? How many of our brothers and sisters and children have these men already taken?
I've got children at home. I can't wait out here for another day.
So go home. The best thing you can do for your children is not trust these charlatans.
Everyone remain calm. We will help as many as we can today, so long as we can do this in an orderly fashion.
Oh, you're helping us, are you, Shem? Like Valendrian and my Uncle Syrian, you helped them, didn't you? Helped them never to be seen again.
We've explained this to you before, girl. More whining will not persuade us to let you into the quarantine to carry plague back out to the alienage.
Quit trying to get us all killed, Shiani. Some of us have still got things to live for.
If this spell of theirs works, why are half the people they quarantine perfectly healthy? What's wrong, Shem? Did you get bored and decide to come watch the elves die of plague? Wait. Sora's told me about you. You're the one who freed him from the dungeons. These foreigners say they're here to help with our outbreak of plague. Funny thing, though. All the people they help disappear.
That's not true, and you know it, Shiani. Both my sisters got the Tevinter spell cast on them, and they're fine.
Where's your niece, then? And my Uncle Syrian? And Valendrian? From the Blight. That's what they say, anyway. People started getting it after the refugees showed up from Ostagar, so I guess that makes sense. These men from Tevinter say their magic will prevent people from catching it. But it doesn't work if you're already ill. So they set up a quarantine. But many of the ones they quarantine aren't sick. One of them was our Harren, Valendrian. And I don't know what we're going to do if we don't get him back. They have to know about it. The Harren complained, and so did I. They just don't care, or something worse. He's the Elder, the person who guides us. Maybe that doesn't mean anything to you, but it's important to us. They won't just let you in. Well, just be careful. Those men are mages.
I ask you to stand back. Some of these people are carrying the plague. The alienage is not safe for visitors.
I'm afraid that is not possible.
That will not be necessary.
For your own safety, we must ask you to leave now. You have already been told to leave. Please do not. You have already been told to leave. Please.
Hold. This place is full of plague victims. No one enters.
To arms! Protect the hospice!
Is this? Stop him!
Of course. And so I shall. As you desire. All the noise! Don't bother! What now?
Begin the
And so I shall. All right.
help us, please! We're not sick! Let us out of here! I swear not one of us is sick. They take the sick ones out as soon as they come in. Please, help us! Thank you, friend. I don't know, and I don't want to find out. We're leaving. Make her keep you.
What happened? Some of the elves ran out, but I didn't recognize any of them. Where are all the others? Let me see that. What does this even mean? They can't be shipping people, can they? Shipping them where? I don't care why. I just want to find everyone who's missing. But how could they take them away? Wouldn't we see them? They could be moving through the back alleys. There are all sorts of buildings back there. They could be using one as some sort of warehouse, staging area. If you find any more information, please let me know. I refuse to accept that they're all simply gone.
Who's there? Stay away! I haven't seen nothing. Please, just leave me alone. I don't know, I swear. I only saw them take people away. Took them right out of their beds. Dragged them down the hallways. Maker, the little one's crying. Through the landlord's old office. They go in there, they never come back. I saw him. They marched him through the hall with a bunch of others, all tied together like pack mules. Every few days, they come back. It's like a parade, a silent one. Men and women and children. You have to go. They'll be back soon. They'll find out I talked and they'll take me too. Please, just go.
Delighted.
as you desire. And so I shall.
Very well. I see.
What's this? Another shipment already? We weren't... Wait. You're no Tevinter. Who are you supposed to be? Oh no! I've heard of you! Attack!
ya?
What is the meaning of this? We were told that there would be no interference from the authorities. Oh? An errant group of do-gooders, then? You will regret this, you know. Believe it or not, we've been given dispensation to do our business here. You Fereldans talk a great deal about how very wrong slavery is. But isn't it funny how quickly the smell of gold overcomes such ideals? So I should feel kinship for these sheep? Don't be a fool. I am Tevinter first and a servant of the Minrathu Circle second. Those are the things that matter. But enough. I am here to halt your slaughter, nothing more. Let us finish this then. I intend to see you pay for the damage you've done here.
As you wish.
All right. And so I shall.
Where is it?
Of course. And so I shall. Couldn't we all just get along? Come, let's get
I am Caladrius, and you, I assume, must be the Grey Warden I've heard so much about. One can hardly get a word out of the Regent besides Warden these days. It's surpassed even gold in popularity. Yes, you would be curious about that, wouldn't you? I've heard that you're trying to erode Logain's support. It must be a difficult task, yes, like washing away a mountain. Perhaps you could use some help. Truth be told, there was always a limit to how long we were going to be able to operate here. We've paid for many of Logain's troops, but once the Landsmeet is done, we become inconvenient. So, here is my offer. 100 sovereigns from you for a letter with the seal of the Terran of Guaren upon it, implicating him in all of this. Then, we leave a few days earlier than planned, with our profits and remaining slaves unharmed.
'Tis a reasonable enough starting offer.
I feel dirty. We're not considering this, are we?
So, do we have a deal? Even you must admit it's much better than resorting to barbarism, yes? Interesting. Now, that's not much of a deal, is it? Let's do this the hard way, then. Men, shall we?
Enough! Enough! It seems your reputation is an accurate one. I surrender. Were I to use the life force of the remaining slaves here, I could augment your physical health a great deal. Allow me to leave this place alive, and I would be more than happy to do this little service for you.
An interesting offer, if a tad messy.
So, is my offer of interest to you, yes?
Blood magic. It just gets better and better, I see.
Then, allow me to gather my strength. You may feel a moment of dizziness. And we're done. Now I will go, quickly.
The house has eyes. But Grandma calls. What? You're not one of the bad men, are you? I just want to make Grandma happy. Never met her, but she protected me. But I lost her amulet. Grandma, make the voices go away. Everything and nothing. They thirst for blood. More blood. The bad men in the house. The housemen. They came the night of shouting. All of us orphans were in there. Then the blood. Oh, the blood. Still bleeding. Poor animals. Poor us.
Have you heard the news about how?
Everyone in the city has. Ryland must be pleased.
That half-blood is as cold as the mountains. Did they not serve together in the war?
Oh, I can hardly speak ill of the sense or conscience of any man simply for wishing Rendon Howe dead. You've met him. The man made vipers seem personable.
Well, I didn't say I was shedding any tears over his passing. He never was any friend of mine.
Whoever you are, Wait. I know you. Poor Oswin obviously didn't recognize you. He described you in great detail, but never mentioned you were a Cousland. I owe you his life. When I saw my poor boy's legs, I only wish Howe still lived that I might tear him apart myself. I would bring troops against his son. But Oswin tells me Thomas had no part in his father's depravity. Is there anything you would ask as a reward for saving Oswin? Thank you again. Know that I will stand behind you at the Landsmeet with all the support I can muster. In fact, I'm taking my supper today with Ban Reginalda of the White River Banorn. I'll speak with her about this at once.
Have you heard the news about how?
Everyone in the city has. Ryland must be pleased.
That half-blood is as
Wonderful. Another one.
Did they not serve together?
I suppose you're here to ask for a donation too. You're the youngest Cousland, aren't you? Probably looking for coin or men to take your Ternir back then. You're better off asking the Darkspawn. They hold West Hills now. Shouldn't you be dead, then? How quick did you cut leash and run at Ostagar? No matter. I've nothing left for you to take, Grey Warden. Not even my sons. You're wasting your time here. What do you think happened? Did the Blight escape your notice? War claims the young and strong first, and Plague doesn't care about skill or bravery. There's no point talking about it. Leave me. I've nothing for you anyway. There's nothing more to say.
Of any man
As to
simply for
someone
wishing
else.
Rendon Howe dead. You... What's that?
You'll have to excuse me. I'm engaged at present. You'll have to excuse me.
May I help you? This is Ermenric's. Explain yourself. My brother would no more part with this ring than with his head. Loghain? What does my brother have to do with him? Captured by whom? And why? I think I will have to get this story from my brother himself. I thank you for bringing me this news. If you will be so kind as to tell me where he is, I will go to him at once. A dungeon? What? No. I will go to him at once. Someone will answer for this. You're Bryce Cousland's youngest, are you not? I thought I recognized you. Take this. It's been in my family for generations. Let it be a sign of the friendship between High Ever and Waking Sea. Let me know if you want some of my bowmen when you take back your Ternir as well.
You'll have to excuse me.
I will have to speak with the Grand Cleric about this. And soon, I think.
What can I get you, stranger? Right, I'll show you around.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Fresh from Orthanc.
Magic exists to serve man and never.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just.
Accursed ones. They shall find no rest in this world or beyond.
I was getting to that part. How many times I gotta tell you before it make it through that pointy skull? Bank the coals at night, or the stew don't cook. I better not catch you right, sir.
Ah, there you are. I was about to send out a search party. I've been hearing of a great commotion in the alienage. What exactly happened there? Make her forgive me. I should be appalled that such a thing could exist here. But I'm overjoyed you can implicate Loghain. We must end the civil war quickly. What the Blight does not corrupt in this land, politics surely will. The last of our allies have arrived in the city. We cannot delay any longer. I will call for the Landsmeet to convene. Bring Alistair and join me at the palace as soon as you are ready, Warden.
Is it true? Erlina tells me that Arl Eamon has gone ahead to call the Landsmeet. I hope we're ready, but we have done all we can. I know we are more than a match for my father. You should hurry. Father won't waste time wresting the proceedings from Eamon. He will need you. I'll meet you there. Maker, watch over us all.
Indeed. Very well.
Of course.
My lords and ladies of the Landsmeet, Tyrn Loghain would have us give up our freedoms, our traditions, out of fear. He placed us on this path, yet we should place our destiny in his hands? Must we sacrifice everything good about our nation to save it?
A fine performance, Aemon. But no one here is taken in by it. You would attempt to put a puppet on the throne, and every soul here knows it. The better question is who will pull the strings. Ah! Here we have the puppeteer. Tell us, Warden, how will the Orlesians take our nation from us? Will they deign to send their troops, or simply issue their commands through this would-be prince? What do they offer you? How much is the price of Ferelden honor now?
Some of us are curious, Loghain, about precisely what happened at Ostagar.
So, one of Caelan's killers would dare speak of betrayal. You led our king to his death with your grandiose tales of griffins flying into battle.
The Warden speaks truly. My son was taken under cover of night. The things done to him, some of them are beyond any healer's skill.
Hal was responsible for himself. He will answer to the Maker for any wrongs committed in this life, as must we all. But you know that. You were the one who murdered him. Whatever Hal may have done, he should have been brought before the Seneschal. There is no justice in butchering a man in his home.
Selling elves? Explain this, Loghain.
This is war. Did you believe it would be like the old tales? Knights with pennants flying over battlefields where all outcomes are decided simply and with honor. War is cruel. Every soul who fought alongside Marek knows this. And in it, there are no such things as innocence, only the living and the dead, and the degrees of guilt both bear. Sacrifices were made. If they were too great, the Maker will judge me for it. But enough of this. I have a question for you, Warden. What have you done with my daughter? You took my daughter, our queen, by force, killing her guards in the process. What arts have you employed to keep her? Does she even still live?
I believe I can speak for myself. Lords and ladies of Ferelden, hear me. My father is no longer the man you know. This man is not the hero of Riverdane. This man turned his troops aside and refused to protect your king as he fought bravely against the Darkspawn. This man seized Kaelin's throne before his body was cold and locked me away so I could not reveal his treachery. I would have already been killed, if not for this Grey Warden.
So, the Warden's influence has poisoned even your mind, Enora. I wanted to protect you from this. My lords and ladies! Our land has been threatened before! It's been invaded and lost and won times beyond counting. We Fereldans have proven that we will never truly be conquered so long as we are united. We must not let ourselves be divided now. Stand with me, and we shall defeat even the Blight itself!
The Warden. I'm with the Warden. Southreach stands with the Grey Wardens.
Waking Sea stands with the Grey Warden.
Dragon's Peak supports the Warden!
Western Hills is with you, Loghain. Maker help us.
I stand by Loghain. We've no hope of victory otherwise.
I stand with the Warden. The Blight is coming. We need the Grey Wardens.
Traitors! Which of you stood against the Orlesian Emperor when his troops flattened your fields and raped your wives? You fought with us once, Eamon. You cared about this land once. Before you got too old and fat and content to even see what you risk. None of you deserve a say in what happens here. None of you have spilled blood for this land the way I have. How dare you judge me? Then, let us end this. I suppose we both knew it would come to this. When we first met at Ostagar, I would never have thought so, but Ostagar seems like it happened in another lifetime to someone else. A man is made by the quality of his enemies. Marek told me that once. I wonder if it's more a compliment to you or me. Enough! Let the Landsmeet declare the terms of the duel.
It shall be fought according to tradition. A test of arms, in single combat until one party yields. And we, who are assembled, will abide by the outcome.
Will you face me yourself, or have you a champion?
Warden, no. I'm afraid we can't leave the fate of all Ferelden up to your dog. Anyone with a leftover hambone could buy his allegiance. Choose someone else.
It is you or me the men will follow. So, let us fight for it. Prepare yourself.
underestimated you, Warden. I thought you were like Kalen, a child wanting to play at war. I was wrong. There's a strength in you that I have not seen anywhere since Marek died. I yield.
I didn't just hear you say that. You're going to let him live? After everything he's done? Kill him already!
Wait. There is another option. Batean is a warrior and general of renown. Let him be of use. Let him go through the joining. There are 3 of us in all of Ferelden, and there are compelling reasons to have as many wardens on hand as possible to deal with the Archdemon.
The joining itself is often fatal, is it not? If he survives, you gain a general. If not, you have your revenge. Doesn't that satisfy you?
Absolutely not! Riordan, this man abandoned our brothers and then blamed us for the deed. He hunted us down like animals. He tortured you! How can we simply forget that? Joining the Wardens is an honor, not a punishment. Name him a Warden and you cheapen us all. I will not stand next to him as a brother. I won't! Some things can't be undone or forgiven. This goes way beyond having spotless honor. We aren't talking about a minor hiccup in his past. I didn't want to be king. I still don't. But if that's what it takes to see Loghain get justice, then I'll do it. I'll take the crown.
Listen to this. Can you see how disastrous a king he'd be? Putting his own selfish desires above the needs of his country? You can't seriously support him. My husband, the king consort, the general of my armies, and the hero who will save Ferelden from this blight.
You're siding with her? How could you do this to me? You, of all people. What's wrong with you? He's repeatedly tried to kill us both, and you side with him over me? I'm not. I'm perfectly lucid. I will not stand beside Loghain, and neither should you. I guess I don't have any choice, do I? I'm leaving.
I'm afraid it's not so simple as that, Alistair.
You already got what you wanted. Your murdering father gets a place amongst the Grey Wardens. What else could you want from me?
Your life, unfortunately. So long as you live, rebellions can be raised in your name. Our land cannot endure another civil war. I must call for your execution.
Did someone replace my fellow Grey Warden with a pit viper when I wasn't looking? What happened to you? Can you hear yourself? I'm going to be thrown on the pyre along with Duncan and all the others, am I? Nothing I did counts for anything?
Guards, take him away, please. And now, lords and ladies of Ferelden, there is still a blight to defeat, and armies to gather. And I appoint this man to lead us in both. We will not allow this land be further threatened by the Archdemon. Gather your forces and await the King Consort's command. On the morrow, we shall begin our struggle against the greatest threat Ferelden has ever faced. And we shall triumph over it, for we are Ferelden.
You are called upon to submit yourself to the Taint for the greater good. From this moment forth, you are a Grey Warden.
I understand.
So it's done. My father lives, and for good or ill, he is now a Grey Warden. Thank you for giving him the opportunity to undergo the ritual. It couldn't have been easy. He does indeed. You kept your end of the deal. I will keep mine. The engagement will be announced at my coronation, provided you are still interested. Things could change in the near future. This blight is not yet over, after all. Arl Eamon has left for Redcliffe, and tells me that our armies have almost fully gathered there. I will be heading there myself. Bring your companions, and join us at Redcliffe Castle as soon as you are able. You have united for Elden Warden. Now we face the blight.
Here, Corella, taste this. Tell me if it's in need of any more spice.
I got a moment, sure. Aye, all right then.
If one more servant asks if I would like a change of clothes, I will set the house on fire.
What comes, my friend? So, full of questions, are you?
If one more servant asks if I would like a change of clothes, I will set the house on fire.
What comes, my friend?
We are hardly alone, so privacy is not an option. It is your question, however. Ask what you will.
And you wish to do this in front of an audience, do you?
Come to think of it, I find myself no longer caring.
This is not as defensible as I would like, but it will do. You called. I see. And why do you think this? As you wish, Hanahedan.
Let's not spend more time here than we must.
Indeed.
Yes. Ah, fancy meeting you here. I heard rumours that Redcliffe was once again open for business, but my word, isn't this amazing? Such bustle. The Earl has kindly offered my son and I lodgings in exchange for supplies. I'm happy to help him. And you too, of course. If you have need of my wares, you have but to ask. I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
I passed your test. Fate has a twisted sense of humor, it seems. I suppose you think I'm some sort of monster. More so since I survived your ritual. You keep striking at me, and I just refuse to die decently. Oh? What was all that nonsense with the Darkspawn blood and mages then? A puppet show? It seems to me that magic has already failed. I'd recommend a sharp knife in the kidneys next time. Less impressive, but it gets the job done. I suppose it does lack the element of surprise. Well, what shall we do to settle things between us then? Yes, well, you can thank me for that later. I don't know what concession you want from me, Warden. I expect my word will not satisfy you. Indeed, I'd almost forgotten that. Thank you for the reminder. I think it's time we got to the point here. What do you want from me? I can't imagine that you spared my life in the Landsmeet by accident. You have some plan in mind. What I want? What an odd question. I want to ride back to Denerim and sit in the war room and find no empty chairs at the table. I want to lose, nothing else. I want a line, clearly drawn, that I can defend. I want an end to this war. All of this can rightly be called my fault. Whether or not you can do better remains to be seen. But if you can make this the end, Warden, I will follow you, I swear it. Andraste, help us then. We should speak no more of this at present. Time's wasting.
All right.
Even the Templars will be impressed by the powers you will command.
At your order, Warden. You will see, Warden, and so will the Darkspawn. At your order, Warden. Naught but our claws and teeth. Tend to your other recruits, lest they feel inadequate.
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised at your success. You beat me. Perhaps you can do this after all. It hardly matters now. I've certainly been mistaken about you before. Do you want something? I suppose I have a moment. Honora always did have a flair for the dramatic. She could have been a bard. Honora is a politician at heart. There's one thing she knows. It's how to move people. Well, I'm sure having you come to her rescue gave Honora no small amount of pleasure. But enough about Honora. We ought to get moving. Go ahead. So far as anyone could tell, she was the undisputed monarch of the whole world. She'd fall, skin her knees, and command them to stop stinging. It may have worked, too. If you didn't already expect that, I've no idea what to say to you. If you're expecting some particular insight into my daughter's character, I'm afraid I'm probably not the best source. I'm hardly impartial. You think so? I'm not certain of that myself. But this is not really the time or place to discuss my daughter. We have work to do. Go ahead. I suppose that depends on how much of the kingdom was left by then. Once the border was secure, the army would have regrouped to push back the Darkspawn in the south. It's easy to say now. When Chevaliers were massing on our doorstep, things were a little less clear. In any case, there's no use discussing this. We have much work left to do. Go ahead. Honora is a good queen. She has been for 5 years now. Whatever she might think, I never took power from Honora. She may have felt threatened, but I most pointedly did not remove her from the throne. In all seriousness, Honora is formidable. You should know that by now. They always have before. Few among the nobles have ever been under any illusions as to who really held power in Denerim. Honora is strong enough to endure. She may make a few mistakes along the way, but she'll survive them. But this isn't the time to discuss such things. By all means. Hate doesn't describe it. I've seen painted, masked lords beat an old farmer to death with riding crops. To this day, I don't know why. Is that hate? I saw good, sensible men fight armored chevaliers with nothing. No weapons, no armies, not even hope of success to see the occupation end. Is that hate? You won't believe me when I tell you this, but it doesn't matter. I never fought because I hated Orlais. This was for Merrick and for Reldon. I didn't want to start a war, I wanted to stop one. I failed. So I suppose my intentions don't amount to much. In any case, there's no use discussing this. We have much work left to do. Go ahead. He was my friend. If he'd wanted to conquer the Fade, I would have led the charge. There are men who inspire such devotion that everyone around would lay down their lives for him. And there are men who would come and go from this world, and no one notes it. What makes them so? Your guess is as good as mine. Merrick was remarkable. That's all I can say of him. I was hunting, well, poaching, to be entirely honest, when a boy my own age came stumbling out of the woods. He was so dirty, you'd have thought he'd been dug up out of the ground. The traitorous bootlickers who'd just murdered the Queen, though I didn't know it at the time. He was bloody, exhausted, and obviously being hunted. I offered to take him to my father's camp. That's a story for another time, I'm afraid. I've gone on too long as it is. He nearly did. Merrick was never one to avoid his duty. And given his preference, he would have acknowledged his son no matter the circumstance. But he had more than his honor to think of. It would have ruined Rowan, after all. She'd be reduced to a concubine in the eyes of our neighbors, and put Caelan's status as heir in question. So Merrick made the hard choice. Eamon offered to raise the boy, and that was that. I was turned by then, and a general. You can buy respect through birth or by bloodshed, I've found. But we've been idle long enough. We should get moving. Go ahead.
Of course.
I'm surprised. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks. Thanks.
It'll do, sure. It'll do, sure.
Do you want something? I suppose I have a moment.
Of course.